Summer is looking to be quite busy. However, globally, the travel sector is not set to recover this year, but it will get close. This is according to a new report by the World Travel and Tourism Council in conjunction with Oxford Economics. Now, in it, it says that the sector is set to contribute some $9.5 trillion by the end of the year. That's just 5% short of what we were seeing from 2019 levels. Now, with that, tourism jobs are also rebounding quickly. Now, globally, in 2019, we saw about 334 million people employed in the travel industry. That was about 1 of every 10 jobs. Of course, we had a sharp drop-off in 2020, and the industry has been steadily, or in some cases, frantically trying to add jobs back since then, and will reach about 95% of 2019 levels by the end of this year. Now, these are global averages. If we take a little bit of a closer look, according to this report, 34 countries out of 185 that were analyzed have already recovered in terms of GDP contribution. Now, by the end of this year, the report says another 50 are set to get close or to meet that same milestone. Leading the charge, the World Travel and Tourism Council told me, is the United States and the Dominican Republic. Now, interestingly, we dug a little deeper to see which countries are really are at the top here, and it is not just global hotspots. Yes, you need travelers coming for vacations, but also a healthy amount of business travelers, as well as friends, family, and a diaspora that is on the move. Now, finally, if we look at recovery on a regional basis, the report shows North America and Latin America regionally will recover before the end of the year, with most of the rest of the world expected to follow suit by 2024.
Monica, in terms of travel recovery, how much evidence is there that cost is still holding back or being challenging for recovery?
So cost right now is said to be the #1 thing that is putting a damper on this entire thing. Now, I can say that the momentum that we've seen coming out of 2021, 2022 is not likely to hold for this year. Of course, the last couple of years, we saw countries reopening, we saw restrictions falling, a lot of excitement surrounding these things. That's not likely to happen anymore. We're not likely to see a 1,500 increase in travel bookings, for example, but a lot of people say this is for the best. So the industry is still expected to increase, however, at a much slower pace than we've seen over the last 2 years. Now, we do have an interesting study coming out of Morning Consult showing just how much travel demand is starting to differ regionally around the world. If we can get that graph back up, we can see that for the most part, these lines they're trending upward when it's being led by Europe. We've got Spain, Italy, Germany, about 3 in 4 adults in these countries saying, yeah, they're planning on taking a vacation this year. But look at what at the top, South Korea, incredible travel demand coming out of South Korea. Can't say the same for Japan there at the bottom. And what this graph is missing, only because there's space limitations for television, is that a lot of countries were in between here. Japan was at the bottom. And I have sat here before and talked about the curious case of travel demand just not returning amongst Japanese citizens. But the one line that is causing people to have a little bit of worry at this point is the United States. If we look there, we can see that from the summer of 2021 to now, travel demand has kind of remained flat. And we're now starting to see some hard evidence that domestic travel in the U.S. is starting to soften. Now, international travel in the U.S. is going up, so some people say, look, it's a wash at this point. But it is somewhat concerning because the United States has served as somewhat of a bellwether for travel trends in the past couple of years.